Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. Today I have a plant spotlight for you, and it is another Alocasia. I'm gonna pick it up and hopefully it will fit in the frame. Oh boy, this is my Alocasia Lauterbachiana, and she is not fitting into the frame. Here she is. This is what she looks like. She's been with me for about a year now, but almost a year. And she is one of, and I say this about almost all of my plants, but this one truly is one of my favorite plants that I own. So just a little backstory on her. When I purchased her, she was in about a 4-inch nursery pot, and she was absolutely beautiful, but she was a lot smaller. And I fell in love with this plant. I didn't know what it was. All I knew was that the leaves on this thing, which they were extremely small, but this now they're just huge, but it was still just a smaller version, of course. And this plant made my heart just come alive. It was so beautiful. Now, a lot of the times with this plant, it does have beautiful veining on the back of it. In the sun, it will actually develop nice purple backs to the leaves, and it's so beautiful. But I do like it this way as well because you can really see the veining, and sometimes you can even see the variation in the green pattern even though it's not variegated. And I love this plant. She lives in my bedroom. I have a window in my bedroom. I have one west-facing window and one south-facing window. She sits on the floor in front of my west-facing window, and she just gets a prime spot, not just because she's my favorite, but also because of the size of her leaves. She actually has to be in a spot where everything else has to be fit in around her, and she loves it. She truly does love it. And I didn't realize I'm about to lose a leaf. It looks that way. This one is yellowing. With Alocasia, typical with Alocasia, if they have a new leaf coming in, you definitely have to make sure that they are being watered at the time that they want to be watered. You don't ever let them go dry. But I didn't keep up with that because, of course, it is now, we're going into the winter season. It was actually only 8 degrees today, but she got a little dry the day before yesterday, and I only noticed it because I saw some yellowing on this leaf, and so I watered her. But when I was watering her, I noticed that she had this leaf coming in right here in the middle, but if you look closely, there's a whole lot happening in here. So there was no way I could have been off my schedule with her right now because she is putting out what looks like a bloom right here. That right there looks like it's a bloom because it is not a leaf. It looks like the bloom on my, well, the start of the bloom on my Alocasia Regal Shield. And that has been blooming for the past month and a half now. So I have that bloom coming in, and then this one down here, I'm not sure if that is a bloom or if it is another leaf. But the leaves look very leaf-like when they are coming out. They don't look like that. So I'm really not sure. And if you can just imagine, as I'm sitting here, I'm seeing something else happening right in this corner right here. So this plant has a lot going on. If you can, maybe you can see it a little bit better from this side, what's happening. Look at that. So this, I'm happy I'm only losing one leaf considering the fact that I went a little too long to water her, and she has so much going on right now. I truly love this plant. As far as the care for her, I normally water her once. At this point, I'm watering her about once a week. And that's in this season. In the colder season, that's what I've been doing. I watch her because sometimes it's not 1 week, sometimes it is maybe 5 days, and then I have to give her a good watering. She does have a nice big pot, but she has extremely sunky. She has extremely chunky soil because I don't ever want to over water her, as I've mentioned that in a past video. And I know, Brittany, you asked me to do a video on how I mix my soil, and I will definitely do that for you soon, because most of my plants, if not all of them, that are in soil, they all have extremely chunky mixtures for their roots, because that's the only way. I love to water my plants, and so I tend to be an overwaterer, but this way I don't do anything to them. Anyway, let's see, what else do I do for her care? I definitely have to wipe her leaves down a lot. She is almost like a fiddle leaf fig, where she will collect dust because her leaves are so wide and flat and they just sit like this. And so she will collect a lot of dust. And so I just take a little soft cloth and I will just wipe her leaves front and back. As far as pests, I have had, what have I had on her? Now that I think about it, I can't remember if when my Polly got spider mites, if this one had it. I don't remember that. I think I treated her for it, but because they were close to each other, but I don't think this one had it. But anyway, that is something that I know alocasias are usually prone to, and so far she's been okay. And again, I look at her like all day. So yes, if something's there, I'm definitely going to see it, that I can identify anyway. So I'm really happy about her. She is in a nursery pot from, I believe, one of the Monstera that I have upstairs. But I think the only thing that I've ever had where I questioned anything with it was just that the roots kept popping through the bottom of every pot that I put it into, which is why she's in such a big pot, because she has really, really long roots, and they're nice and healthy, like healthy size roots, but they are very, very long. And every time, it was maybe a month and a half, I would just see all of these roots coming through the bottom. And then I just thought that, you know, I was doing something wrong. I don't know why. That's just the way I felt. But now that that's the only time I've ever had any kind of an issue with this plant, simply because I didn't know how to care for its roots. I didn't want to do anything wrong, because again, I love her. I love her so much. So I think that is all that I can share with you. I talked to you about the watering. I talked to you about her location and any troubles I've had with her. I love her to pieces, and she is absolutely gorgeous. And I look forward to seeing her bloom. This is so pretty. Yes. So thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I truly appreciate your support here on my video. And if there's something in particular that you would like to know about my plants, I'm more than happy to share the information with you. I'm not an expert, but whatever I know, I'm more than happy to share with you. Okay? So I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.